Thank you, Luis. Thank you. This is Lluis Ortega, a Spanish architect who will be in collaboration with Iñaki Abelos representing Spain, doing the National Pavilion for Spain. And we have the privilege of interviewing him today here. I have, very few simple questions that I would like to get your thoughts of. The first question is, in two parts, and you can think of them as two questions. Which is number one, what are you guys doing? And number two, what does it mean to do a national pavilion?
Well, thanks for having me here. First of all, just one technical clarification. The project is led by Iñaki Abelos and collaborating with him, but also there's a team in Madrid that is Co-Studio that they are also co-curating it. It's a kind of a very complex set of people. Basically, we're addressing a triple kind of agenda into the pavilion. One will be the double agenda from the curator from Red Colhas about fundamentals, but also about absorbing modernity as topics. I'm sure that you have already discussed that with other guests. And the third party of that will be the national aspect of that. That is coming from the ministry that is basically setting up the agenda for the local curators to discuss in the pavilion. So that the triple agenda has three different approaches. That is basically what is leading the project. The first two will be they are intertwined. So it's not like that we can isolate the three aspects of the project as three different strategies. But basically, what we decided after working on the problems for a while was to concentrate all the narrative about the modernity in the context of Spain into the problem of interiors as an issue. So also because we think that is what is really fundamental in architecture. So it's a way of feeding back on the problem about fundamentals. No? Basically we think that there is no architecture without interior. In that sense, that's a key aspect as well. But also we thought that it was one of the key aspects that was basically distinctive from the Spanish architecture. Not so much from the national aspect of view, what is made in Spain, but also as a kind of almost a Mediterranean zone. So we understand the problem of the national pavilion not only as an aspect of certain kind of passports. If I have to summarize it, basically we're discussing the interior as a kind of a core of the aspect of what is currently an interesting kind of issue in architecture. And that also is one of the aspects that distinguishes the Spanish architecture against other kind of architecture that has been basically absorbing certain kind of modernity. In that aspect, the kind of the interiors is deployed in many different ways. We have contemporary projects that will be exhibited in the pavilion, but at the same time, those projects will be confronted with kind of historical research that we are currently doing that is trying to collect within the kind of historical period of the Rancojas question what will be a survey of Spanish architecture from that perspective. So in that sense, we're focusing on showing only interiors, but as a way of rethinking one of the key aspects of how modernity has been absorbed within Spanish architecture. I think that it is also a way of confronting the kind of maybe other more encapsulated architecture that has happened in other aspects, in other parts of Europe. The kind of the Mediterranean zone has been always confronted with low means, but also a specific climate that has been always encouraging the architecture to be expanded in the contemporary.
Yeah, it's something I noticed about Spanish culture and to some extent Portuguese culture as well. In that the living room is outside.
You're right, and that's why I was trying to highlight the aspect that it's not only the problem of the national definition, it's also a kind of a Mediterranean context that we think that
the spillage of interior onto the exterior, but then programmatically it's still an interior program.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. But it's just like to try to articulate the interior as a kind of like an expanded understanding of the building. So it's where all the systems are colliding in a way, and so all the complexity of an architectural project, I mean, at the end fits back on the interior.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
So that's how we're like basically like approaching the problem of discussing modernity within the Spanish context.
Yeah.
One of the main characteristics of the Spanish architecture is that it has been always understanding the interior as not something that is isolated from the exterior, but has this kind of like ranges of connectivity with the interior exterior as a kind of.
Can you maybe talk a little bit about what you feel is the meaning of doing a national pavilion?
So for me, the kind of the problem or the question about the national pavilion at this moment relates on highlighting which are the kind of the powers and the characteristics of the Spanish practitioners, which I think that they are very well recognized currently within the kind of external context, into paradoxically a very difficult moment within the country in a way. No? So I think that in that respect, the pavilion plays also the role of why not just like visualized or like make more visible some of the kind of the potentials of some of the Spanish practitioners within the kind of current globalist context. No? That's a kind of the more political kind of role of the pavilion. From the content point of view, again, I will expand the definition of the Spanish architecture into more like almost like a climatic zone. So it's more the Mediterranean kind of architecture, the South European architecture that we are like really like understanding as something that can be shared or exchangeable with. Like I mean, like you mentioned before the Portuguese kind of context, but I mean there are a lot of like Italian, Greek architecture that is very much in a way sharing this kind of like interest, but also like specific understanding of the definition of architecture, something that is expandable and is much more permeable than in other latitudes, for example. No? So I mean, there are like different layers of the understanding of the national. One will be more like regional based, and one will be more like political within certain kind of market context, and the other one will be more about like the actual like also like academic kind of background of everybody is going to be exhibited in the pavilion, that are basically coming from the Spanish architecture schools, which have certain kind of like strength, but also a specific profile that is very different from the Anglo-Saxon context. Yeah. In that sense, I mean, like it's a kind of a hybrid between like a common background within a kind of a globalized context, which makes very difficult to encapsulate the definition of what is kind of a national pavilion today, or what is the role of the national pavilion today.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Pleasure as always.